But yeah, do the whole millennial farmer thing where he's constantly moving his GPS units around as he does different things with different tractors. Yeah, I can take the GPS off the tractor that's hauling the auger wagon and put that GPS on the harvester so that we can harvest with it. The other option with Farming Simulator is obviously to just try to, you know what jobs need to be done, and you know how many tractors of a certain size you might need, and then just purchase a tractor specifically for each task. And eventually we get to the point where, well, I can only drive one tractor at a time and I'm doing 5 different jobs. Yeah, I could do. But I could have a big tractor with GPS, which is the one I predominantly drive. And then I can have another big tractor that's capable of doing the same jobs. But I'm generally going to keep that with a worker. Oh, that's a pain. Not so much of a pain. Okay. How full are we? We should make it to the end. So like we had both the Class and the Challenger in the last series, I didn't have to have GPS on either or both, or on both of them. I could have just said, I'm going to drive the Challenger, and whenever I've got ploughing to do, either I will do it in the Challenger or I'll set the Class off doing it with a worker. Because even then, it's very rare that I actually use GPS for many tasks. Although it's not that difficult to set up. So how are we doing? It is coming up to game time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've been at this since midday-ish. We're at 1.3 hours. I'm probably expecting this to take less than 2 hours. Oh. Please get to the end, please get to the end, please get to the end. Yes. Okay. Need to take a bit of a detour so that we are not cutting in at this point, because we're not going to get very far. The trailer's full. We'll just run down the edge here until it stops. And almost there. And straight through the windshield. Alrighty. Disconnect. Hello. Yoo-hoo. Oh, helper off. Disconnect. There we go. Have to sack the worker first. Oh. Nope, that's a piece of barley I missed. I guess in the grand scheme of things it's not that significant. It's gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I wonder if... No new pieces of equipment. If I was thinking of doing grapes on this farm, I would be strongly considering that harvester. Because that's an expensive piece of kit, and it's kind of, grapes is a slow growth process, I think, unless you buy the production and really go overboard just putting down vines like crazy every year. That harvester makes it quite a prohibitive, expensive start. It's my common complaint. Potatoes are a pain in the butt with the tractor hauled equipment. Sugar beets, the tractor hauled equipment will make do. You can grow it at this stage of a farm, but you kind of want to concentrate at least one field at a time on it. But cotton, sugar cane, all of those things, the harvesting equipment is so expensive. Foraging, harvesting equipment, so expensive. It's sort of, I don't want to get into it because I need $500,000 to even think about it. Now, because we're on UK map, we're not going to be doing cotton or sugar cane, although Cavalier Roy has enabled both in the crop calendar. And I think that's because it was causing issues with something. We can sneak this under that auger without breaking anything. That worked. Now there was way back down the end here, there was one of these up for sale. A couple of months ago on this playthrough. Which I kind of think would have been nice to get hold of as a second tractor, because a lot of our equipment is very low horsepower at the moment. But I didn't buy it. Yeah, £5,000-6,000 I think it was, and it's just sort of, sometimes I think I really should have bought that, but it can't run the baler and it can't haul the grain cart, so I need something a little bit bigger. Okay, Cameo. Yeah, have a good day. At the moment, all my family are out and about, so that's why we've had quite a nice quiet morning. I think we're definitely going to call this when they come home. I don't think they're due home for at least another hour. The baler's still following, that's good. But hopefully we should get this all done. 1.4 hours, I think we're looking good for a 2 hour, less than 2 hours on the lease. That's why we're down to 10,000 left in our bank account. I'm the parent to do that. Although it is Mrs. Osa supervision free at the moment. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. Don't drive that way. That would be terribly bad. Let's try and get this out of the trees. Looks like I might have to mess around here. Hopefully we don't end up with a bale in the middle of an end row. Try and grab that bit that's still under the tree. The hardest bit about this end of the field is those trees are way too close. We do have a chainsaw, however, so we could do something about it eventually. Maybe. One day. It's more a kid-free house. We have our teenage daughter who's adopted, and two of our former foster kids come over every few weekends. They didn't come over last weekend because Mrs. Osa wasn't feeling up to it. So they came over this weekend, and there's lots of events going on this weekend, so she's taking them to those. We went to have a picnic with our daughter's brother, who's also adopted by a different family, which makes things kind of complicated. I think there's 4 kids in the family and they're all adopted by different people. So with Mrs. Osa's health issues at the moment, getting the kids together is challenging at times. Sometimes we can do it, sometimes we did have a plan, I think, to visit with her younger sister for her younger sister's birthday, and Mrs. Osa ended up going into the hospital that particular week, so we had to cancel it, which unfortunate, but it is what it is. But we actually managed to keep this a secret from our daughter for about 2 weeks. So all it was we're going out for a picnic somewhere. She's like, oh, unusual, but I don't know why. And it wasn't until we got there, oh, can we eat? No, not yet, we have to wait. And she's like, oh, I don't know what we're waiting for. And then she's, I just saw my brother's adoptive dad. So yeah, we spent yesterday sort of early evening with her brother and his now siblings. I think they've got 5 adopted kids, one of their kids, and she's pregnant and due around October. I miss that tuft of stuff. Barley in the corner again. Not going to bother going back for it. I wonder if I can make this turn. Ooh. I'm not going to get the straw doing it this way. Well, I might do. If I can drive straight for long enough. But anyway, that was a nice surprise for her. And she wasn't expecting it. But since we had the other kids with us, we all went. And we had a picnic at ballpark in, I want to say Battle Creek, but I'm not 100% sure. And there was sort of a play area, so the kids all played on climbing frames and swings and stuff, after we'd eaten. And then there is a competition at church today, which they're all playing in. Well, the younger kids are playing with. It's for up to 12s, and our teenage daughter is obviously not 12. But they should all sleep well tonight. They slept well last night. I think we got home about 9 o'clock, and our former foster daughter was like, "Oh, I'm too tired to stay up." Yep, okay, that's fine by me. Because normally they're up till gone 10, and it's almost impossible to get them to sleep because, oh, it's so exciting, we're staying with Mr. and Mrs. Osa for the weekend. I'm really not going to be doing any yard work today because it is now raining. Said earlier we got the grass cut on Thursday afternoon, and I was hoping to get some pruning done today, but yeah, that's not going to happen. I might go down to the garage and put the new wand on the sprayer, because that needs to get done. And I need to get out and spray the driveway and the edge of the path, and probably along the main road as well. I am in Michigan. So, yes, I am from the UK, but I haven't lived there now for 1999. I think we came over November 99, so we're coming up on our 23rd year in America. We'll be married 25 years in March next year. Okay. But being from the UK, when I play things like Train Simulator, I tend to prefer playing UK routes, and when I play Farming Simulator, I tend to prefer playing in UK maps, although technically this is not UK. This particular map is Irish. No, we do not have monsoons. The thing, Michigan is close to the Great Lakes, so while we are in continental US, we do get a fair amount of rain. It's kind of like the UK. When I first came over here, I had been taking flying lessons. And so I continued the flying lessons. We originally settled in California, although we've not lived there for, I want to say, almost 20 years now. But I continued learning to fly while I was there. And it was so much easier learning to fly there than in the UK. And primarily because in the UK, it rains a lot. And so what ends up happening is you book a lesson a week, and typically you're lucky if you get 2 lessons a month. That wasn't what I wanted to have happen. Weird. Or did I've sent them worker home? I can disconnect the thing. So yeah, you'd book, you know, a lesson every Saturday for the next month, and you'd be lucky if you got 2 lessons, sometimes 3, but typically barely 2. And obviously learning to fly in California, especially Southern California, we weren't in Los Angeles, but we were just slightly north of there. I got to fly pretty much every lesson I booked. It was very rare for weather to cancel a lesson. But I was talking to my flight instructor, and he was from Hawaii, and I was explaining how, yeah, it was really difficult back in the UK because, you know, you never knew when it was going to rain, and you could end up with, oh well, I didn't get my lesson this morning because it rained, and the afternoon is 75 degrees and sunny all day. So you know, it was just the luck of the time you picked for your lesson, or, you know, that was available for your lesson on a particular day, as to whether you got to fly in the UK. But I said, so much better flying here, and he said, yeah, I know what you mean. He's from Hawaii. Yeah, I'm from Hawaii, he said. So I'm like, well, how's that a thing? Because, you know, by that time it's sort of, yeah, I remember Thomas Magnum as Tom Selleck as Magnum PI, and it's sort of, you know, they're all in Bermuda shorts and colourful shirts, and it's sunny. And he said, no, Hawaii is an island. So it rains somewhere every single day in Hawaii. So if you're unlucky, it's raining at the airport you fly out of at the time your lesson's booked. So I said, well, that makes sense. But, you know, typically the UK, I know they've had major heat wave lately, but typically in the UK, it's raining somewhere. Oh, I saw that. I saw a photo of a what is normally a lake, and there's a small clump of about 2 or 3 full-grown trees, and no water around them. And usually these are on a mound in the middle of the lake, and you could walk to them at the moment. I'm not sure where it was. But yeah, things are not looking good. So that's empty. Yeah, 1.6 hours. Let's get rid of it. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That one. Return. Yes. Return. Yes. Return. Yes. So, okay. So that's all gone. That actually wasn't too painful. I think what we'll do now is we'll finish up the bailing. It's mostly just the headlands left. So as I said, I was kind of surprised that all of the bales came out as straw. I know there's been a lot of changes in Farming Simulator over the last few editions. I think Farm Sim 17, your bale would end up as the last thing you put in it. For Farm Sim 19, the bale ended up as the first thing you put in it. So in the case of Farm Sim 17, we have straw in the bale. Currently in the baler. If I went and baled up a row of grass, it would come out as a grass bale. In Farm Sim 19, because I've got straw in the baler, I can now go and bale anything I want, and it will always become a straw bale. In Farm Sim 22, what they seem to have done is made it so that what you put, 50% of what you put in a baler is what comes out. So we were at something like 93% of a grass bale, but grass bales are only 7,000 litres or something like that, the size we're making. And as soon as we started putting straw in there, it immediately converted to a straw bale, because straw bales are huge compared with grass bale, or more mass, more litres, more volume. No, not volume, because they're the same size. The bales we're producing are the same size as the silage bales we produced. But this is going to be about 11,000 litres. And so it decided that you're putting so much more straw in this bale, it's going to be a straw bale. Oops. I was kind of expecting us to produce one grass bale at the beginning of this, because we were so close to the end. Not so much the case. If I hit this just right, we will crush that barley in the corner. Or not. And this is... I like this baler, I must admit. The pickup on this is just what the doctor ordered. There's so many balers out there that the pickup is just all wrong. I think the little orange, the cheap orange one that so many people use as a starting baler, good baler. It does 125 and 150 centimetre round bales, which means you can wrap all the bales it produces. But sometimes it seems to me that the pickup width is just a little bit too narrow, so you end up frequently missing part of the windrow as you drive down it. Ooh. Missed a tiny piece there. But shouldn't be too much worried with what we do or don't get for the rest of this. Michigan hasn't been too bad. We had a little bit of dry weather, but we have had a lot of rain. We had some major thunderstorms. In fact, for a lot of the northernmost part of North America, not sure about Canada, but we have had a lot of farmers complaining that they were planting very, very late in the season because it was just so wet. If you watch Millennial Farmer, okay, he's a couple of states over from us, but he had tornadoes go through and tear up, I think it was 2 of his grain bins, and he's got his workshop shed, which is kind of concrete floor and lights and air conditioning, and then he's got his equipment shed where he stores stuff that's not being used right now. So things like his harvester were in the shed because he wasn't, he'd finished harvesting, so he'd put that in the shed, and he hadn't quite got the seeder out because it wasn't time to start seeding, but he was planning on doing that. Tornado comes